for Mr. Liam Gallagher there, guys. Wonderful performance. Hello, my name's Alex Kelly, and this is Time Tunnel TV. Well, what a show we have ahead for you tonight. We've just seen what we started off with a bang from Liam Gallagher. We will have a live interview throughout today's show with that same man. It's going to be a show full of laughs, gags, and hopefully no bust-ups. Anyway, you'll see why as I introduce today's guest. He's one half of Oasis. He's a Manchester mauler. He couldn't give two Bradleys about what you think. The god of the music industry. He's probably had a can of white lightning before the show. It's Liam Gallagher, ladies and gentlemen. Liam, come on through. Great to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us today, mate. Yeah. Appreciate it. Have a seat. Liam, thank you very much, first of all, for that wonderful performance, and thank you for joining us today. It is a pleasure having you on the show.
It's all right, mate.
First of all, how's Tricks?
It's all right, yeah. You know, BDI's, we've gone our separate ways now, but future's bright, you know.
Yeah.
We might do something musically later on, who knows. That could come out in a few years, or my label, Pretty Green, as well, doing well.
Well, I think we're definitely going to talk about that later on, but I think what we should do is start right back at the beginning. Let's talk about those early days of Oasis. You and your brother Noel setting up the band. How did it all start?
It all started, we started our band out around 91, 93. Noel comes into the equation, takes over. You know, we dominate the world, and then the rest is history.
What was it like in those very early days when the fame kind of just started to take off? What was it like being, you know, a musician back in the early 90s?
Well, it was incredible. You know, we were something else. Like, you know, we came from nothing, and then, like I say, we took over the world.
I mean, you're kind of, you know, Oasis, Pulp, Blur, you know, that kind of indie generation. You kind of it was a new generation of music for the music industry. Yeah. Did you feel like you were a part of something special at that time?
Oasis were.
Not the others?
Not the others, no.
Not the others. Well, all right, then let's talk about Oasis then. Did you kind of realise what impact you were going to have on the music industry?
Yeah, you know, as soon as we start recording the songs and stuff, it's good tunes, man.
Well, there's no denying that. So what were some of your favourite songs from the first few albums?
Live Forever.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then others like Shaker Maker. Won the Wall, not so much.
Why not? Why not
Not
Won the Wall?
fan.
Well, that's one of your biggest hits.
Because it's one of Noel's narcissistic
Okay, I see. Yeah.
pride and joys, you know what I mean?
Well, we'll come back to your brother definitely later on, because obviously that's a big part of not only who Liam Gallagher is, but who Oasis was, and kind of you know where the music industry went with the pair of you, really. But thinking back to kind of like, you know, the mid-90s now, you're huge, you're touring everywhere, your albums and singles are hitting #1. What kind of impact did that have on you personally?
I don't know. I was messed up for most of it.
Was it too much sex, drugs and rock and roll, do you think?
It's never too much.
Never too much.
Never too much.
But in terms, let's say, you know, were you able to appreciate it at the time? Did you know what you had at that time?
Yeah, I suppose we did. Like, first couple of albums, they were a bit more to do with becoming big rock stars. We were happy in a musical sense. Third album, we were happy in a chemical sense. Fourth album was a bit shit. And then it just, yeah.
So what started going wrong? Was it just the relationship between you and your brother Noel?
No, it wasn't. You know, it's my brother. I love him to bits, man. But it's...
But you've got to admit there were many a bust-up that, you know, not only interfered with the music process, but actually stopped performances from happening. Gigs were cancelled because of the bust-ups. When did that start kind of creeping in to Oasis? When did that start taking over?
After the 90s, when his tunes started to get a bit more shit, and he started to try and take control of it a lot more. So
you do blame Noel for the end of Oasis?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, what was it?
Why is he broken off and the rest of us went to form BDI?
Well, why? Let me ask you that question. Why did
Because
he
it was Noel. It was Noel that broke it off. It was Noel that wanted to do his own thing. You know, with the rest of us, we were all right as a band.
What did it feel like when he told you, when he said, "Look, I'm not coming back. Basically, this is the end."
It was never said. It was just implied. We had the big bust up.
Yeah.
And then he smashed my guitar, and then after that we'd not spoke.
Now, one of his major criticisms of you is the fact that he never felt that you took the profession, as it were, seriously enough.
Well, it's not a profession, is it? You know, I go out on the stage, bang a few tunes. You know, we didn't have professional in the 90s.
Well, maybe that's part of it, but I suppose, perhaps profession's the wrong word, more kind of like the artistry of it, you know, the art form that is music. I don't think he...
Well, to be artistic, if you treat it as a business, then it's not going to look artistic, it's going to look more... You know what I mean? Like, it's too formal about it. It's supposed to be an informal entertainment.
Was that the fundamental issue then? It was just a line that you and Noel just couldn't get both on the same side of? And that was that then, the end of Oasis?
That was it.
How long did you decide to, after Noel left, before you decided to change Oasis' name to BDI?
Well, it was knocking around for a while. It took us about a year to come up with the name BDI. It's like we were even talking... We knew.
Why so long?
We knew straight away, like, the moment, straight after the argument, we knew we was going to carry on.
Yeah.
But we couldn't come up with a name, and, you know, we were even batting around with keeping the name Oasis. But
why did you change?
Because in the end we decided, no, we couldn't keep with that, because that was Noel's band. This is our band now.
Excellent.
Or was our band.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely fascinating. We're going to come back and we're going to have a lot more chat with you, because this is just, you know, really interesting stuff that I'm hoping our audience at home is really enjoying as well. So thank you, Liam. Please stick around and we'll have more from you later on. All right, now it's that time of the show where we go for a quick ad break. So grab yourselves a quick hop nop or a cheeky Horlicks if you're over 50. You don't want to miss this. See you in a bit.
Oh.
Welcome back to Time Tunnel TV. Now, after that quite brilliant commercial in which you had time to get up and make a quick Horlicks, Bovril or any beverage of your choice, you can now enjoy that beverage with a slice of madness and a side of hysteria, as we are here again joined by the wacky and wonderful Liam Gallagher. Liam, thanks again for joining us today.
All right, mate.
So we were talking before kind of like, you know, about Oasis and how you know BDI. So if we can, let's just talk a little bit about the other side of it. Were you a bit upset to see Noel go on ahead and make the High Flying Birds?
No, not at all. I mean, it's just barbershop music, innit, really? It's nothing more.
Not
the
impressed?
High Flying Smurfs.
Do you not like it at all?
No.
Not even a bit of brotherly affection for it?
No.
Not in the slightest?
No, it's just the same shite he was writing in Oasis.
What did... has Noel made any comments to you about BDI and what you guys are up to
I mean,
now?
he's been in the news about it and he seems to have good good opinions of it, but I think that's more to do with Gem Archer and the members of the band he still speaks to.
Yeah.
You know, and then a lot of the songs, like The Roller, for instance, were knocking around in Oasis. So, Yeah,
It's no different from what he was trying to do at the end of Oasis, and he's
exactly.
taken that with it. So it really is a division, isn't it? You've both kind of gone your own separate ways
Exactly.
doing the music that you both want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what kind of effects has that had on your fan base? Have you felt that Oasis fans have split evenly as well? You've got some going with BDI and some going with High Flying Birds, or do you feel there's much more of a crossover?
I feel there is a split. There will be fans that are taken either side, but I think the majority, the ones that just love the music, that loved Oasis, have gone both ways. Because the thing is, we have the same record label, so we never have albums out at the same time. So
there's no direct competition?
No.
Would you be interested in having a direct competition, seeing whose album would...
No, different kind of music. We're rock and roll. He's more of a boring old fart.
Not even a little bit curious about who would win in the top 40?
No, because we would.
You would, without a doubt, no question.
Without a doubt.
All right. Well, as you said earlier on, BDI have split up. So what's next for Liam Gallagher?
Don't know yet. We're going to take a bit of time off and see.
Who's we?
Who's we? The boys, the band. There's been no argument.
Yeah.
We just decided we've done 2 albums now. We've done all the tours. We're just gonna have some time off, maybe a year, maybe 2, and then we'll see where we go from there. I'm going to concentrate on my label. The boys have got other things to concentrate on, and that's just where it's going to go from.
Now, there was talk a few years ago about Oasis getting back together for like a tour of your greatest hits tour, but obviously Noel instantly threw water on that. Has there been any more talk of that in the future? Perhaps do you think there ever will be an Oasis greatest hits tour?
I would be open to it.
You would be.
I would be.
So you're still open to it. You weren't too upset.
Yeah,
at this point by
Oasis
Noel
were the greatest band around at the time. If not ever. You know what I mean? Like, Noel probably wouldn't, because he's off doing his own thing and he's full of himself and he thinks he's bigger than the band. But the rest of us be well up for it.
So is it very much a case of you don't think Noel's music's any good at all and he should quit, or are you proud?
I just don't think he's all right on his own. No, I don't think he's capable of doing it on his own. I think he's realising now that he needs us as a band.
So possibly in the future, Oasis could be back together.
We'll see. Who knows?
Okay. Well, let's go back a little bit, because it's not only the music that makes up Liam Gallagher. One of the big things with you is kind of your relationships, because it's quite fair to say, all your relationships tend to be quite public eye affairs. Yeah. So talk us through some of these relationships then. What really makes Liam Gallagher tick in terms of his women?
I don't know. I mean, girls just come along. Obviously, one of the best looking men in rock and roll, if not the world.
Well, you're up to your 3rd marriage now, aren't you?
Yeah.
So what went wrong?
Just got bored.
Simple as that?
Yeah. If I get bored, that's it. Gone.
Was it not... Well, do you not think was it anything to do with the timing of the fact that he was so big at the time? Was there no place for a love life and a marriage in that kind of area?
Just got bored.
Simple as that?
Simple as that.
But you're not bored now?
No.
You're happy with...
Happy now. Might do one day, who knows?
Okay. Well, hopefully your wife's not watching this one. All right, let's quickly talk about football, because, again, that's another big side of you. And I think this is probably the one area that you and your brother do agree on. Because is it true that I read up that, because obviously you had the huge bust up at the end of Oasis, and how long was it, 2 years you didn't talk for? Yeah,
that's right.
And then when your beloved Manchester City, obviously, first won the Premiership. Didn't mean bought, sorry, faux pas. You texted each other. Yeah. And that was like the first kind of communication you had in years.
I mean, it's been hyped up to be like that. It just doesn't mean anything. I text everyone who's a City fan. It was, the moment was biblical. Like, you have to share it with everyone you possibly can. It's not a...
But did that open up lines of communication with you and your brother?
No, I haven't spoke since.
Really?
Really.
Not since then. But you will always talk about City?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, not only have you got your music and your football and your love life, but now you've got your own designer brand.
Yeah.
Which we're sporting now. Pretty Green.
Bit of product placement.
How did that come about?
Well, I've always been into fashion. It's always been a big part of my life. A particular kind of fashion, like the mod culture, inspired by Quadrophenia and stuff like that. And then a few years ago, I just started coming up with some ideas and got in touch with a few eggheads, and we started a business.
So was it something you'd been thinking about for a while, or was it just right time, right place?
Something I've always thought about. Well, a bit of both, really. But thought about it for a while, come up with some designs, and then spoke to the people that could make it happen. And then we started off with a little store in Manchester on King Street.
Yeah.
And then we got a second one in Carnaby Street, London. And then since then it's expanded. And now we're a nationwide brand, really.
It's absolutely fascinating stuff. We are going to have to wrap it up there. Is there
Right.
anything else you want to say before we move it on?
No, that's it.
Liam, I can't tell you how much of a pleasure it's been to have you on the show. We really do appreciate it. I believe you're going to do us a performance at the end of the show.
Apparently so.
Wonderful. What are we playing for us at the end?
We'll see.
We'll see. Wonderwall, I've been told in my ear. Wonderwall. Does that sound all right to you?
Go
the
on,
classic. Then. I know it's not one of your favourites, but it's a classic.
Got to please the crowd, haven't you?
Absolutely. Please, masses. Liam, thank you very much for coming on today.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, so now it's time for another round of VTs. This time it's going to be a documentary all about the life of Gallagher. This is going to be weird, as it's all about you, Liam, so have a watch if you like. It's probably better that he doesn't watch it, as Liam is quite capable of watching himself on TV and feeling threatened. Let's hope the set is still standing, with some minor strong language along the way. Here's the documentary. I guess you could say, let's roll with it. I know, I'm sorry, terrible pun. Roll VT.
And if I wouldn't have won anything, I'd smash the gaff up.
Leadman, arrogant, brawler. An iconic frontman in an iconic band. A man led by a life of rock and roll, controversy and football. I'm Danny Pryer, and I'm going to be taking us inside the loony life of Liam Gallagher. Gallagher was born in Burnage, Manchester in 1972, and is the youngest of 3 boys. His father Thomas was often violent towards his family, and abuse affected Liam deeply and inspired him to become an artist. Liam showed little interest in music until his late teens. He became confident in abilities to sing and began listening to bands like the Stone Roses, The Who and the Beatles. In the process he forged a lifelong obsession with John Lennon. Liam would later claim to be Lennon reincarnated. He is also known to be a passionate supporter of football club Manchester City, along with brother Noel. In the early years, Liam was a songwriter for his friend's band The Rain in 1991, but never really achieved. Liam's brother Noel had been a roadie for the Inspiral Carpets in 1992, and then turned The Rain into Oasis in the same year. They finally acquired a contract and recorded their first album, Definitely Maybe, which turned out to be the fastest selling UK album at the time. Liam was praised for his vocal contributions to the album, and his presence made Oasis a popular live act. However, his attitude also won him much attention from the British tabloid press, who often ran stories concerning his alleged drug use and behaviour. Next was 1996, and Liam and Oasis were bigger than ever. The next album, What's the Story in Morning Glory, was even more successful, becoming the 3rd best-selling album in British history. His persona on and off the stage remains the same.
Surely, like, the security of this place can send up more than ginger bollocks to throw us off the stage.
You could say that he's just naturally feisty, or maybe he just doesn't want his photo taken for the 50th time today, so he will give you a smack in the face. Liam Gallagher has had many controversial moments in his time. Gascoigne and a fire extinguisher at a club, the Brit Awards in 2010 in which he did this,
Live forever.
blatant swearing in front of the cameras, and of course fighting with the press. That's just him. However, the most attractive thing in Liam's musical life was his singing style. It had been compared to a blend of John Lennon and John Lydon. He has stated he has no clear influence other than John Lennon and music itself. However, he's been best known to incorporate many different forms, such as punk, indie and new wave.
Would anybody like to see me fight Liam?
At the Brit Awards in the year 2000, Ladies' Heartthrob Robbie Williams decided to use an acceptance speech, which was a unique and fairly public platform to ask Liam for a fight on TV.
100 grand of your money, 100 grand of my money, we'll get in the ring and we'll have a fight and you can all watch it on TV. What do you think about that?
Big talk there from Robbie.
If he rises to the challenge, what are you going to do?
I'll fight him.
However, at the time, the Oasis frontman wasn't even present, never mind at the Brit Awards, but in the country. Just months later, Liam and Robbie were present at the Q Awards.
As usual, understands the letter Q.
This all looks set to be the biggest fight in music history, surely.
I'm just going to keep my gob shut.
Well, there you have it. Robbie chickened out, leaving Liam as Billy Big, person of the music industry.
Listen, the guy offered me outright when I wasn't in the country.
Early, do you think you drove him out?
No.
No?
I reckon he drove himself out, mate.
Liam has been through a lot in his family life. He has now 3 kids, Molly, Lennon and Jean, and has had past marriages and relationships including Patsy Kensit in 1997 and most recently, Nicole Appleton in 2001. Oasis, arguably one of the best bands ever to come out in the UK, split in 2009. It all ended in Paris when an altercation between the two brothers got out of hand, resulting in Liam smashing up Noel's guitar, and that was that. But to be fair, Liam did throw fruit at Noel, and once the fruit basket's been touched, there is no going back. Noel went solo whilst Liam and the rest of the band set up BDI, who have recently split as they didn't really get going into the music industry. Shame. Well, after talking about his music, controversial comments, bros, childhood, wives, kids, brothers, and of course, the fruit basket, you now have an insight of the weird and dauntless mind of Liam Gallagher.
So,
From me,
what do
Danny
you think is
Pryer.
the worst fashion mistake someone's made? Have you seen someone that's so so fashionable and is really doing your head in and it looks hideous?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Who?
You.
Oh, you.
Good night.
Brilliant documentary there. Wonderfully put together. Very interesting too. So let's see about his life before races and also at the present time. Let's hope no fruit was harmed in the bust-ups between the two brothers over the years. Which brings us to our Time Tunnel News studio to catch up on what's been happening in this past year of 2000. Over to you, Mr. Michael Tate.
Thanks, Ed. Hello and welcome to Time Tunnel News. Here are the headlines, despite the fact the second millennium will not end until December 2000. Premature millionaire celebrations have been taking place all over the world. The Y2K worry about passes without serious widespread computer failures and malfunctions that have been predicted. 3 students died and 54 were injured in the dormitory fire at Sutton Hill University in the USA. 2 students were charged with the murder and Alston thought allegedly setting the gunfire. Though our thoughts were with the family of the 3 students. The recent Brit Awards were a venue for controversy, as Robbie Williams not only won an award for the Best Music Video, but authored Oasis Landman, Manchester Hardman and Liam Gallagher for Fight in the Boxing Ring. The former Take That singer proposed that he would offer £100,000 of his money to start and stated that Liam did the same thing, then broadcast it live on television for the country to watch. Gallagher, who is out of the country, is yet to respond. In other news, presidential elections results in Vladimir Putin elected president. Yesterday's resignation resulted in presidential elections being held within 3 months on the 26th of March 2000. Putin won the first award with 53% of the vote. And in sport, France beat Italy 2-1 in the 2000 final with a goal from David Trezeguet. The goal came in the 103rd minute inside the first half of the extra time, with a Frenchman bagging the winning goal that instantly gave them the second European Championship. Talisman Zadig.
Well, thank you very much from the Time Tunnel News. I'm sorry to say that is all the time we have time for. We just quickly have time for me to say thank you very much for our wonderful guest, Liam Gallagher, for coming onto the show. Thank you very much for our Time Tunnel News there. I've been your host, Alex Kelly, but we have one last chance to see our amazing frontman, Liam Gallagher, with his wonderful performance of Wonderwall. See you next time.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead just there and blinding. There are many things that